बहुत बहुत आभार सर, आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। आप लोगों के आशीर्वाद के और मार्गनिर्देशन के कारण हम आज की तीसरी वेबिनार 1888वें नंबर की आपके सामने अर्पण कर रहे हैं। इंडिपेंडेंट रिसर्च एथिक्स सोसाइटी की आयुष समृद्धि ज्ञान गंगा के 1888वें पड़ाव पर आप सभी का स्वागत। आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल टू डॉक्टर सुपर्णा एस मुखर्जी मैडम एंड डॉक्टर सैकत कुमार बसु जी for their continuous, uninterrupted knowledge support, great knowledge support. Really, we are grateful to you. And today is also a unique day. World Science Day for Peace and Development. World Science Day is different, and World Science Day for Peace and Development is quite different. So, this is the need of the era. आज की ये गन फैक्ट्रीज, आज की ये बॉम्बार्डिंग, यूक्रेन हो, इजराइल हो, फिलिस्तीन हो, ये सभी तो डिस्ट्रक्शन की बात कर रही है। साइंस मस्ट बी यूज्ड फॉर ओनली कंस्ट्रक्टिव concepts and the benefit for the society. But unfortunately, we are observing that we are moving towards great war. I can't say world war, but a great war ahead that must be stopped. In any case, their innocent persons must not be killed, and the science must help them in this condition also. So, science for peace and development is a quite good subject. I would like to welcome Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji for his welcome blessings.
Namaskar. Good evening to everybody. Respected distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to AYUSH Samriddhi International Webinar Series on Science for Peace and Development. Most important subject today we have. In this webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Suparna S. Mukherjee from Bolpur. Namaskar, madam, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Saikat Kumar Basu from Alberta, Canada. Namaskar, sir, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Once again, I welcome all the eminent speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this AYUSH Samriddhi International Webinar Series on Science for Peace and Development. Once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you. Namaskar, over to Pavanji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, for his preamble as well as stage coordination.
Thank you, Professor Pawan Sharmaji. I also would like to welcome all the guest speakers of today's evening, Professor Dr. Saikat Kumar Basuji and Dr. Suparna Sandan Mukherjee, as well as our great supporters, or especially their coordination and their support is always there. They are Mr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji, Professor Nishan Shukla ji, of course, Professor Tripathi ji, S.P. Tripathi ji, and our revered Professor Lakshman Dwivedi. And surprisingly today we are feeling honored with the presence of Dr. Shri Ram ji. We welcome all them. The talk is based on the science, the need of science for the development and peace. Really, since our childhood, say student of 6th standard, we came across for the first time that science is a person, say, of course, the support, of course, शत्रु और मित्र या ये इसका अभिशाप है या वरदान है, ऐसे बहुत से टर्म्स सुने। और सच्चाई है, साइंस इज साइंस as long it is favorable for the mankind, for the humanity, for the living beings, for teachers and everybody. So when we feel ourselves developed, this is of no use if we are not developing towards the positive thinking, positive development. In the case of disease-free society, uh, uh, tension-free society, of course, a very well-being and positive thinkers of the mankind. Of course, it is said that education without character and science without morality and commerce without honesty are useless and dangerous. It has been said by Satya Sai Baba of Prashanti Nilayam. So that is very, very important. When science is misused and used for the, say, devastatingly for the making the ruining down the whole of the society, world, earth, making earth in a dangerous form. Of course, we recall back the Hiroshima and Nagasaki is such a nuclear bomb blast, which is really gives a shivering us to that how the development and say science misuse took place simply because of the some persons say misunderstanding regarding if the mankind will be off, then how they will survive when the water and oxygen, air, even the earth, soil will not be so favorable for the life. So with these words, I again welcome all the guest speakers of today and very respectfully would like to Dr. Suparna Sana Mukherjee, as she is really continuously associated with us since our previous webinar also. So I would like to invite Madam Dr. Suparna Sanal Mukherjee for her very, very valuable words. Thank you, Dr. Sanalji. Namaskar.
Very good evening. Very good evening. Thank you very much for giving me another opportunity to say something on the auspicious platform. So it is very interesting that the World Science Day, and which is observed this today, like the 10th November 2024. And why it is observed and what is the most effective aspects, why we are observing, why it is very important for us to observe in this particular day. Because the scientific movement and scientific development have started so long. Because if we can look back to the our Paleolithic time, the Paleolithic period, then Paleolithic, Mesolithic, then Neolithic, and the prehistoric time also, human being had invented all the scientific nomenclatures, because human are the first person who have introduced the science. In the science, it is very practical experiences and which highlighting the role of science in society and need to engage people to actively debate on more scientific issues. That's why our imagination of brain, our cognitive senses of the brain has explored in the scientific world, and we have created the all science program, because every time our brain is working. When we are sleeping, our brain is working. When we are doing work, our brain is not taking any kind of rest. So we want rest. That means we are giving our brain, we are restoring our brain conscious and subconscious minds. When we are sleeping, our subconscious mind is working. When we are not sleeping, our conscious mind is working. In this World Science Day for Peace and Development, which is the more motivating people, which aims to make sure that students are aware of the latest development in science. It is also understand the role of scientists play in the broadcasting our understanding and making this society more sustainable. So we are sustaining every day. We are sustaining every day. We are facing challenges. So challenges are just our stepping stone. So when we are facing one challenge, we are come across this another challenge. So when we are solving one challenge, then we are also accepting another challenge. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, encourages people to join in the celebrating World Science Day 2024 by organizing multiple activities throughout the day. So multiple activities we haven't done, but we have done homework. It is also a scientific word. The scientific word. At the same time, now we are also celebrating World Science Day 2024 on this Ayush, auspicious Ayush platform. The ideas of World Science Day for Peace and Development were first proposed during the World Conference on Science, which was took place in Budapest, Hungary in 1999. UNESCO and the International Council for Science organized the conference to raise people's awareness about the impact of science on the society. Thereafter, UNESCO declared November 10 as the World Science Day in 2001. The purpose is to connect science to everyday life, showing how scientific discoveries solve global problems like poverty, environmental protection, and health challenges. World Science Day for Peace and Development shows the importance of science and scientists for sustainable development and the need to inform and involvement the citizens in science. It is also an opportunity to show the world about science relevance in daily life and engage them in daily conversation. So how we are engaging people, how we are engaging every worldwide, we are engaging people for the sustainable development. Like our mother is not she is not working, she is a housewife. The any women who are housewife, they are also exploring the science and technology. How you will say that when they are cooking, it is absolutely chemistry. Just because how much salt you have to mix for the curry, and how much other elements you have to mix with the curry, you can make it the tasty. So this is the science, that is the speculation. So they are every day they are doing, and they are, this is the innovation. Every day are innovating, because you would not get the taste, the same taste of the curries which the mother has done yesterday, and which you have doing today and will be done tomorrow. So this is the system. So everywhere, every day, every time, every situation, we are exploring science and technology. So it is not necessary that you have to be educated. You must have the literacy. You must have the literary senses. Those who are not literary senses, those the rural people, those who are going to the forest, they don't know the any specific norms. They don't have the any idea. They don't have the any laws and legislation. They don't know it, because the law, the which is the laid down features, it is in the library, and there are so many big books and law you are practicing. But they are the natural law abider, because nature has its own law, and they are practicing in their everyday life, which is when they are practicing everyday life, when they are going to the forest, they know which parts of the tree they can cut it, of which part of the trees they can chop it, and the twigs they are collecting for the home consumption and the other purposes. So they are applying science, they are applying their cognitive senses in their pursuing sustainable livelihood and development, celebrating annually on the November 10. So highlights the significant role of science in society. That 2024 theme is empowering communities through the science, the hypothetical theme. Empowering community through the science, because we are though it is our policy guidelines, every policy guidelines, educational policy, forest policy, environmental policy, every policy guidelines giving us so many scientific connotations, and they are empowering the people. They are telling them, because they don't go to the field, they are not the actual practicer, actual user, but because they are doing planning on the AC room, where the every facilities are there. So cold mine they are doing, but they are not facing the hot situation. But they have to face the hot situation just because this hot situation is very important for them when they are facing the actual users, the participants, and those who are suffering and those who are sustaining and those who are making themselves the technology orientation every day, how to prevent and how to make assure the life sustainability. So they are not even have time to meet them, but they are also implementing the policies. So this is the challenge when it is becoming the challenge. So that's why the World Science Day is giving and providing you some strength, some sustainability, and some taking oath. You should have the responsibility for the society to do something better for the others. So this day emphasizes the power of science to solve global challenges, promote sustainability, and build a more equitable world. It encourages public awareness of scientific advancements and the importance of integrating scientific knowledge in decision making to foster peace and development. So in 2024, the celebrating focus is likely on the basis of the enhancing scientific literacy and ensuring communities have the responses to understand and apply scientific principles in the everyday life. The goal is to bridge the gap between science and society, making scientific knowledge accessibility relevant and beneficial for all. So we don't know what that troublesome is going on with any kind of society and any kinds of community. So we have to make the bridge between us and them. So events of this day will often include science fairs, discussions, community approach program, then the encourage interested scientific knowledge orientation, scientists and innovators, because everyone is the scientist, everyone has the scientific acumen. Though the player is playing, they are applying their scientific approach. Those the cook or chef is pursuing the cooking, they are also providing the scientific approach. So science is the everywhere, science is the everyday life, every aspects of our life is the scientific orientation. So Science Day is the essential part to mention that the science is our life. If we are going to the arts, those who are going for the literature like English, Bengali, then the other languages, so you don't say it is a science because they have to rapture these words, they have to write these words, they have to think about this word, this thinking, this the theme is also the scientific acumen. Because if you don't think it, if you don't imagine it, so you cannot do anything. So before doing something, you have to imagine it, how we can do it. So you have the senses. If you can the doing any kinds of work, it is science. And in that cases, we can say that the world scientist is very you know a worldwide system and worldwide awareness process to encourage the youth to become their life sustainability and to reach to the optimum level when they are getting youth, when they are getting adult, and when they are pursuing their livelihood system. And they should be all kinds. This the World Science Day is approaching the holistic approach of life, the holistic senses of life in each and every parts of the world and each and every individual of the world, because everyone has the scientific acumen. If we can say that, like the chimpanzee, then gorilla, then orangutan, so they are very close to the human being. So their cranial capacity and our cranial capacity is very less difference. Like if our cranial capacity 150 cc and the in case of the chimpanzee there's 1300 cc, so which is very near. And chimpanzees IQ level and human beings IQ level is to some extent very similar. That's why it has been observed that when a chimpanzee is wanted to and chimpanzee is very trained in computer, if you can give them the computer, they are very eager to learn it because they have the scientific acumen. When they wanted to go to the forest, they can put the key and they can they can approach to their trainer to go to the forest. So they have the sensation. They have the chimpanzee mother can take care of the other children. So this is the situation, the correlation. So if we can affect this correlation, if we can explore our world in the various aspects, we can get it. There is the science is everywhere. So whatever we have done, whatever the achievement of human beings, especially the Homo sapiens in today's world, that is only the scientific approach in every aspects of our life. Medicine, the doctors, they are also using scientific approach. The professor, they are also using scientific approach. Every parts of the life, and the Ayush have the important role to make this world science in a wider aspect, because nowadays why Ayush is getting so important right at this moment, because Ayush was very gorgeous attendance in the when the allopathic was not being introduced, because there is nothing, so people are depending upon the Ayush trend, the direct affection. And now at this time also you will find out the medicine doctor, those who are practicing medical sciences, and they have learned from the generation wise, though they don't have any degree of the MBBS or something else. But they know the which plant is important for what diseases. At the same time, if we can we can approach, and if we can correlate with this modern technology with this medicinal doctor, they are the trained doctor. So they will be the more effective in our society to take care of the people, just because they have the natural senses. They can smell it and they can say it, what kind of diseases you are suffering from. That's why nowadays, and now the present situation in this 21st century, the World Science Day is celebrating One Science Day. At the same time, the Ayush involvement is very important because we have seen in the COVID situation, when there is no vaccination, we are also depending upon Ayush only. So Ayush has the enormous potentiality. We have to incorporate Ayush in our regular curriculum system. So people should know how to cure themselves in the long way, in the long term factor. So that is the point which is very important for today's time and today. That's just empowering the people, their original. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me such an opportunity to say something in this auspicious platform, the AYUSH SAMRIDDHI platform. Thank you. Next.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। बोलना शुरू करते हैं तो रुकते तब है जब पूरा मतलब क्रीम आ जाती है टॉपिक की। सब गजब गजब। अग्निहोत्री सर।
Really, thank you very much. I saw very closely and I found that she was delivering her lecture philosophically. No paper, no PPT, nothing. Even she was not making any effort to sit towards the camera. This is what I found, that it was emerging just like a free flow. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Really, the thoughts are never short in your mind for any topic. And you also appreciated the efforts of Ayush. This is our pleasure that you also appreciated the concept and efforts, scienceful development, peaceful development with the help of the Ayurvedic sciences towards the humanity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, our second guest speaker of today's topic is Dr. very revered, very honorable Dr. Saikat Kumar Basuji, again with a new concept, because he starts saying that Madam has spoken very well, and now I will say something new apart from her presentation. So, really, you are welcome over here, Dr. Saikat Kumar Basuji. Namaskar.
Thank you, Sharma ji. Thank you, Agnihotri ji. Thank you, Vishnu Prasad ji, and all the guests and stuff. Yes, it is indeed. Once again, Madam has very beautifully illustrated the various parts of scientific development. So, what I will do, I will just only highlight upon the peace aspect of the scientific development. Why is it that after so many years, around the world that with scientific pursuits, with scientific development, we are looking for peace. Definitely, as Madam has highlighted very beautifully, illustrated that science is integrated, like both, just not just science, science and technology is now integrated in every aspects of our life. Like whatever we do, wherever we go, how we think, how we modify artificial intelligence, and everything is shaping our life, changing our life, and I think it is changing it for better. Our lives are getting much easier. The number of gadgets with which I go to bed every day, I do not think that when I was a child or like students in those age had these kind of a gadgets to go and work with all day long. Like we are surrounded by magnetic fields and electronic fields that provides us with a huge platform in which we perform a lot of activities very easily, conveniently, within a very short time. And then because of the internet, it is super fast. Like we do not have to wait for mails. Like I do not know how long it has been that I haven't written a letter over mail to anyone other than doing an email or just texting on the SMS or WhatsApp and stuff. So this has revolutionized our lifestyle. It has revolutionized our way of thinking. It has revolutionized the way we think. It has also revolutionized the way we are also coming up with the new production and stuff. But with all these good aspects, one of the challenging aspects that we have is also, as Sharma ji mentioned, that we are loaded with wars that is happening around the world. If we look into Europe, there is an emergent huge war breaking up, which has been continuing for 3 years. And if you look into the Middle East, an in-season war has started, which has everyone is worried that it could spread beyond spheres and become even more uh, dangerous and destructive for various population and communities which is getting involved in it. But what we see from this war is the use of very high sophisticated technologies, right? Like we could see missiles. We are looking at supersonic missiles, jet guided missiles, hypersonic missiles, like missiles which are traveling faster than the sound, like the velocity of sound, and they are causing enormous destruction. And each missile or each grade or each series of missiles are better than the other. We are having intercontinental ballistic missile, air to water, water to air, and like even Trident missiles, where we are capable of covering or attacking even on air, water, and even in the space. So all these factors that has no doubt it's a defense deterrent. If we ask like most countries which have nuclear weapons and other arsenal weapons in their arsenal, they would definitely say that we are responsible nation. It is not for causing harm to others. It is only as a deterrent, so that it is a source of a guarantee that if anyone is planning to do harm to me, he or she or that particular country or that community or the nation will think twice, because I also have the capability to strike you back. So in this way, this is not just a weapon of attacking, or it is just a weapon for self defense. I mean, it's a good logic, but if we could look around the world and the weapon systems that we are being using, the drone technology and other that we are using is making the intensified destruction more and more precise. The like we are able to design buildings, create cities, towns, create infrastructure, but at the same time, we are also able to pinpoint and precisely destroy a particular structure at a particular space at a particular point. We are so specific that we could now target from hundreds and thousands of kilometers a particular floor in a building, maybe a particular even a room in a building, a particular angle of a building, or whatever other installations or military equipments that we are able to create wars through that. Drones, which was created mostly for taking high quality images from high altitude, is not only being used for that image purposes, but it has gone way beyond that. It is used for courier. It is also used for carrying weapons and weapons of destruction that could be self-destroying drones, where you set up the drone, allow it, and it will go and deliver its bomb, or it will explode at a particular part. It is so effective and efficient that many cities in around the world is not allowing drones for security purposes to operate in their towns and stuff, because they consider this to be a security threat. Agnihotriji very nicely and very candidly mentioned about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing, which brought the Second World War to an end. But what an end! What a destruction of humanity and civilization! How many millions of people death, destruction, and the strength and power of the bombs that we have now. They are laughing by looking at the bomb that was used during Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They are at 20, 30, 40, 100, 200 times, even 1,000 times more powerful bombs that we have developed now in various laboratories and other facilities, particularly with the help of our nuclear installations and stuff. So the important question to ask is that, yes, science is so important, but we have to search for peace at the same time, is because if this instrument is used in a very deterrent way or in a destructive way, it is not only going to destroy the enemy, it is also going to destroy non-targets which were not your focus target as a part of the fallout of that particular activity, as well as it is also going to harm the individual or the community which is even firing it. So these kinds of weapons, these high-grade weapons, these highly mechanized, highly sophisticated nuclear weapons that we have been collecting all around the world, I do not blame any one particular country for this. It is out of fear, out of insecurity that we are building up the stocks, and the stocks are getting detrimental and dangerous. And we do not know when and how it is going to explode. The world is increasingly becoming disturbed. We are having less, although we are having high technology, but we are having less and less of resources. And in spite of all the challenges we have around the world, our population is increasing. The earth is reaching to an extent where it does not have enough sustenance for all of us surviving at the same time on this planet. And whenever there is shortage of resources, there will be these challenges of war and other stuff that is coming up. If you go and look into a forest that has tigers and lions, you would see two different tigers or two different prides of lion never fight with one another unless they have to. The only time they will come and fight with one another is when there is a pressure on the prey base on which they are dependent, the deer, the pigs on which they survive. If those animals started going down in number, then they have an hunger related issues, and then with the scanty resources, whatever is available, they will fight to their death. And it's the same for human. Whenever there is a distraction and less allocation of resources for individual population, communities, countries, and nation, it is only when we are pushed towards taking over that land or resources and we fight with one another to the death. So it is very important that while we emphasize on the sophistication of science, for the creativity that science and the peace and serenity that science brings us and makes our life so much easier, it adds entertainment and whatnot. But at the same time, it is also important that for global peace, we need to keep an eye on the development of the weapon and keep a control on their contingent, and maybe do not get out of control, whether fortunately or unfortunately, in releasing them for one particular community. Today, we have very sophisticated weapons and very sophisticated science in the hand of various irresponsible groups around the world. And it is scary to think that what they would do with those if they can lay their hand upon them. One of the very easy solution to those issues are that cut off the financial and technology resources for those groups which we consider to be a threat. But this world is so much divided with so much geopolitics that even if you try to control one, another supply line comes and provides that supply to that particular individual group, and they continue with their bad activity. So unless humans themselves realize that what dangers we are in, and as we are looking at each other, hating each other, and utilizing the benefits of science as weapon to destroy and annihilate one another, there may not be a humanity left to take the benefit of science down the line. So it is very important that we utilize, process, make all the progress of science and technology towards science, uh, towards peace and development. Thank you very much. It has always been a pleasure. I again look forward to come back again with your next presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sekhar. Thank you. Now session is open, sir. And Sriramji is with us after a long time. अग्निहोत्री सर, थैंक यू सकत जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Dr. Sriram ji, Dr. Prasad Tripathi ji are with us, and really Dr. Sakat Kumar Basu ji very easily, smoothly made 50 runs in 4 overs. बहुत ही शॉर्ट में बहुत बढ़िया बतलाया, और डेफिनेटली generations are suffering and will suffer by the effect of nuclear explosion in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and still this is the, I should say, the jealous part of our human brain, that just to ruin down the whole of universe or nature is a breakthrough for a intelligent person, and also for the Mother Earth. What has happened, of course, I should say that the foolishness and mistake done by the mistake and a reaction made by the other party. So thanks a lot, Dr. Sakat Basuji. And now I would like to invite, with all good thoughts and themes by Dr. Shriram ji. He's a very good clinician of his own field. But here we will be talking about the peace as far as our development is concerned in a scientific manner. डॉक्टर श्रीराम जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। कुछ आपके आशीर्वाद की ये मंच आकांक्षी है। स्वागत, नमस्कार। अनम्यूट कर लीजिए, अनम्यूट कर दिया, माइक अनम्यूट करिए। हाँ, यस, नमस्कार। हाँ, आ गए, थोड़ा लूज है कनेक्शन। हाँ, आ गई।
प्रणाम सभी को, नमस्कार। हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने तो योगाभ्यास प्राणायाम बहुत पहले पतंजलि ने शुरू किया। विकास के साथ में साइंस कितना भी विकास करे, लेकिन शांति आवश्यक है, तो बहुत पहले संदेश दिया हुआ है उन्होंने तो। और आज मैं बहुत टाइम बाद में आप लोगों के दर्शन हुए, तो सभी को नमस्कार। पवन जी को, अग्निहोत्री जी को
नमस्कार,
विष्णु प्रसाद जी को और सान्याल जी, सभी लोगों को नमस्कार बहुत बहुत। हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने शांति की बात पहले कही है। जैसे ये शाम न विद्या न तपो न दानम ज्ञानम न ज्ञानम न
शीलम न गुणो न धर्मो,
शीलम न गुणो न धर्मा ते मृत्यु लोके भूयभार भूता मनुष्य रूपे मृगाश्चरन्ति। और योग का, अभ्यास का, और ओम जौ शांतिरंतरिक्षम पृथ्वी शांतिराप है शांतिरोग है। पूरे अंतरिक्ष में, औषधियों में, वनस्पतियों में सभी की शांति की अपेक्षा की उन्होंने। तो हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने तो शांति का पाठ ही पढ़ाया है पूरे विश्व को। अब पूरा विश्व विकास करने के बाद में विनाश की ओर जा रहे हैं, तो एक बहुत बड़ी त्रासदी है, दुखद स्थिति है। चाहे वो यूक्रेन का युद्ध हो, चाहे गाजा पट्टी का हो, हमारे यहाँ तो शांति की बात होती है। पूरे अंतरिक्ष में, औषधियों में, वनस्पतियों में, और विश्व देवा शांति, पूरे विश्व, सारे विश्व में शांति की, पूरे संसार में विश्व शांति की स्थापना करना चाहता है भारत। नमस्कार।
बहुत अल्पतम सूक्ष्म सब कुछ। और सबसे बड़ी चीज है, हमारे आपके प्रवचन ये बोलने में भी, शब्द से द्वारा भी, शब्द के उच्चारण के द्वारा भी वायुमंडल में जो कंपन स्थापित होते हैं, इसलिए हम लोग पूरी वार्तालाप के बाद फिर शांति पाठ करते हैं। उसमें भी ओम शांति का भाव यही है कि आप सभी ग्रह, नक्षत्र, औषधियां, पूरा वातावरण शांत हो जाए, माने स्थिर हो जाए, स्थित प्रकट हो जाए। बहुत बहुत आभार आपका, आप लोग जुड़े, आपने बताया। मैं समझता हूँ आज हम लोगों ने 3 वेबिनार की।
आदरणीय
और
एसपी त्रिपाठी सर कुछ बोलेंगे?
बिल्कुल, वो भी स्वागत है, स्वागत।
आदरणीय एसपी त्रिपाठी सर।
मैं क्या बोलूं शांति पर। शांति तो दुनिया में इसलिए नहीं हो सकती कि जब तक हम स्वार्थ परक रहेंगे, दंभ में रहेंगे, अभिमान में रहेंगे, और मेरे अलावा कोई आगे न बढ़े, ये भावना रहेगी, तो शांति नहीं आ सकती। त्रेता युग में, राम के जमाने में रावण हुआ, द्वापर में कंस हुआ, सतयुग में भी हिरण्याक्ष हुए। तो ये संसार में सृष्टि जब से आई है, तब से शांति और युद्ध, दुष्ट और सज्जन होते आए। सज्जनों को बचाने के लिए दुष्टों को मारने के लिए युद्ध अनिवार्य है। जो आप कह रहे हो युद्ध ना हो, ये रुक नहीं सकता। युद्ध होगा। क्यों? कि जो दुष्ट लोग हैं, जब तक उनको मारा नहीं जाएगा तो शांति नहीं आएगी। तो ऐसी कंडीशन में राम ने भी तो रावण को मारा, कृष्ण ने भी तो कंस को मारा। किस लिए? इस संसार में जो दुष्ट लोग हैं उनका संहार करके शांति स्थापना किया जाए। तो जो टेक्नोलॉजी आज आई है, इस टेक्नोलॉजी से मनुष्य को सुख तो मिले, लेकिन दुष्टों का संहार भी हो, तभी सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिना सर्वे सन्तु निरामया होगा। जब तक ये भावना नहीं आएगी सभी सुखी हों, मैं ही आगे रहूं, अमेरिका सोचेगा मैं ही आगे रहूं, रसिया सोचेगा मैं ही आगे रहूं, तो ये युद्ध होता रहेगा। सबको सोचना चाहिए कि मैं भी जीऊं, दूसरे को भी जीने दूं, तभी संसार सुखी रहेगा। इतना ही मुझे धन्यवाद।
सही बात। लिव एंड लेट लिव, वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। और जो अशांति कारक तत्व हैं वो भी शांत हो जाए, ऐसा प्रयास करें। 1888 पायदान का मतलब होते हैं सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल जी की जन्म वर्ष पे हम पहुंच गए। हमारे सरदार जी 1888 में आए थे। बहुत ही पावन नंबर हमारा पहुंचा है, 1888। तो आज हमारी 3 वेबिनार हुई और सभी ने हमारे आज अतिथि वक्ताओं ने विभिन्न विषयों पर, चाहे वो न्यूमोनिया हो, चाहे वो शांति और विज्ञान की बात हो, विकास की बात हो, पर अच्छी चर्चाएं हुई। और ये एक नया मौका मिला जिसमें हम लोग कर सके। साथ साथ हमने अपने उत्तराखंड प्रदेश वासियों को बहुत सारी, न केवल उनको बधाइयां दी स्थापना दिवस पर, बल्कि आयुर्वेद के विकास के लिए जो संभावनाएं हैं और जो सरकार के प्रयास हैं, जो चिकित्सा और शिक्षा संस्थान के प्रयास है चिकित्सालय, उनके बारे में भी एक अच्छी जानकारी हुई। आज आप सब लोग जुड़े और आप लोगों ने हमारे तीनों वेबिनार को सार्थक संपन्न कराया।